welcome.
Welcome.
I feel so formal. It's absolutely not going to be formal tonight. It's absolutely not. My name is Larry Seyer, for those of you who don't know me. She knows me. We've been together forever. I have been a student of A Course in Miracles for about 25 years. And who knows what A Course in Miracles is here? Who does not know? Who does not know?
I do.
You don't know what A Course in Miracles is? Okay. A Course in Miracles is a literal course. It's not a religion. It's not a belief system. It's not a doctrination. It is a course that you can do, self-study, that allows you to experience the peace of God. And you can then hear the voice of God, and you can get intuition directly from the Holy Spirit, basically. That's what it is. It is a book that came through Helen Schuckman, and this is going to be covered in a movie, so I'm not going to go all through that. But basically, she was an atheist, she was Jewish, and she was teaching at Columbia School of Medicine. I'm not sure what it was. It'll say it in the movie, and we'll find out exactly what it was. But anyway, the point is that she was the last person in the world you'd think that Jesus would choose to speak through to write this material. But it turned out that she was the perfect person. The author is Jesus, the same Jesus that we all know and love. And it started out with she heard a voice. There was lots of conflict in the school. There was lots of infighting and bickering and that kind of stuff. You know, you get the typical work stuff. And her boss, superior, Bill Tedford, said, "There must be a better way." Or she said that, actually. "There must be a better way. I'm determined to find it." Well, shortly after that, she started hearing a voice speaking to her. Now remember, she teaches that if you hear a voice, you're crazy, right? Yeah. So it scared her quite a bit. And so after a while, she actually asked her boss, "I'm hearing a voice. I don't know what to do. If I tell anybody about this, they're going to think I'm crazy. I'm going to lose my position." It keeps repeating this over and over and over and over. And Bill said, "Well, what does the voice say?" She goes, "This is A Course in Miracles. Please take notes." And it repeated over and over. And Bill said, "Well, what would happen if you just took notes?" And she was so scared. She said, "Well, honestly, I never thought of that." So she began taking notes, and over a 7-year period, she wrote down the dictation from this inner voice that she was hearing, which turned out to be Jesus. And it became A Course in Miracles. That was 50 years ago. So that's what we're celebrating right now. I've been a student and a teacher for 25 years. So, and I pre-watched this movie before we're going to see it tonight. I watched it ahead of time to find out what I could say and what I couldn't say. You know, I didn't want to repeat a bunch of stuff. But it turns out I know about half the people in this film. And which kind of makes sense because I've been studying for half the length of the course. I mean, 50 years, 25 years. But the only bad thing about that is it makes me really old.
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah, you were thinking that. You were not being nice.
I was thinking about me.
Oh, you were thinking about you.
I started reading it when
About
it first
25
came out.
years ago?
I was like,
Oh, well, you're maybe longer than me then.
longer than you?
Longer than me. I didn't start until 88.
Yeah, the early 80s.
Yeah, 88 is when I started. So, the course is, like I said, not a religion. It's not a belief system. One of the things that people make the mistake of, in my opinion, this is my opinion, obviously, is that they think that you have to read this thing and you have to understand it. But Carla and I just had this conversation the other night, which was great that we had this talk. She wanted to know, she didn't understand. One of the first lessons it has is nothing I see in this room means anything. That's like the very first lesson. She goes, "What does this mean? I don't understand that. When I see this chair, I remember going to the store and buying it. I remember talking about where we're going to place it in the room, what color is it going to be, have all these different thoughts associated with everything that I look at in this room. I can't look at anything in this room without thinking about something. I remember this happening, that. I remember that. The goal of the Course is to get past all that, because those thoughts and those memories prevent you from hearing the voice. Because God is speaking to us 24/7, all the time. But we are so busy thinking about what we're going to do, what we're going to do tomorrow, what we did yesterday. Oh, I remember this happening. Oh, that person over there is an asshole. Whatever. They were going to, whatever. We've got all these thoughts in our mind, and that thinking acts as a blockage to the voice. And so this Course is a method and a technique for getting past all that and being able to hear the voice and experience love's presence. Because love is God. God is with us 24/7. There's never a time or place where God is not with us. And there's never a time or place when God is not speaking to us or communicating with us. When I say speaking, I include just accepting intuition. Because it doesn't have to be verbal. Many people don't hear verbal speaking. It's actually kind of unusual that you hear verbal speaking. Many people get intuition. I'm one of these people that get just intuition. I just know what happens, or I get an answer, that kind of thing. So the goal of the Course is peace. It's a pretty simple goal. The peace of God, however, changes that to the point where that is the definition of peace encompasses all the removal of thoughts. Because what is thoughts? What are thinking? What is thinking? Anybody want to answer? What is chatter? But what is thinking? I mean, if a thought comes into your mind, what is thinking? At its basic level, what is it? It's judgment. It's deciding if it is this or if it's that, if it's good or it's bad, if it's right or wrong, if it's up or down, is it blue or green? Did it happen yesterday, or is it going to happen tomorrow? See, all thinking has to do with the separation of what is into what you project it to be. So what your perception is influenced by your thinking and by all thoughts, which is influenced by your memories and your experiences. So we can't look at anything with our eyes without associating some kind of memory. Like I walk over here and I think about, what beat am I going to play? This kind of thing. Or, should I play this one first or that first? Come on in. Hi.
Hello, George.
Welcome. So the goal of the Course is get to the point where there's no thoughts. Now, who's afraid of having no thoughts? Right. We are conditioned and taught to believe that if you don't have any thoughts, if there's no thinking, then you don't exist. You're afraid that, if I stop thinking, then I'm going to be dead. Well, I know for a fact that that's not true. That when you get to the point when there are no thoughts, and I've been there several times, and you can get there too, when you get to the point where there's no thoughts and there's no thinking, there is an awareness of being. In other words, you are, you can put a period after that, you simply are. You're aware of everything. You're aware of everything, but you're not making any judgments about anything. Everything simply is. And that is acceptance, which is the opposite of judgment. Judgment and acceptance. So, and when I say acceptance, another code word for acceptance is forgiveness. Right? Okay. But I'm not talking about the kind of forgiveness like that many religions teach, where they say, okay, you've done something wrong, so, but I'm going to let it slide. That's the typical world's view of forgiveness. But that's not the kind of forgiveness the Course teaches. It teaches the following, that nobody's done anything wrong ever, and it is okay. And there's only love. There is only love, period. There is only love. End of story. Now, your thinking mind probably right about now is going, well, what about the terrorists? What about the people? What about the murderers? What about the whatever? But remember that that's a trick. That's a trick. Your mind is working overload right now. And that the mind is now preventing you from hearing the voice of God, because the voice of God is still speaking to you right now. Right now at this very moment. And the only way you can hear it is to stop your thinking. Stop your judging. And that is what the Course in Miracles is. The Course is a technique for getting to the point where you experience peace and love and you hear the voice of God directly. One of the things in the Course that I find interesting, and this is not many things will do this, is that once you do this Course and once you start hearing the voice of God, throw the book away. They literally tell you that in the book. Because once you get to the point where you're hearing the voice of God directly, you don't need it anymore. You just listen to the voice and do what it says. That's it. Because it will lead you in every moment and every second of your life from then on. And Jesus was perfect in that he got to the point where he only heard the one voice, the voice of God, and that's all he wanted to hear. And so he only heard love, and he only practiced love. So I don't really want to spend a bunch of time talking about me or my interpretations of the Course. I know that they're going to get a lot of this in the movie. So, and it's very good, by the way. It's excellent. Maybe I'll holler out whenever we're showing some of the people I know, because they're good friends of mine that I've been to many conferences with, and it's great. Has anybody done the Course, or is anybody doing the Course right now? I know Carla is.
I did.
Carla just started.
Long time ago.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been in my house forever, but we just started it.
Yeah. Well, and I'm so thankful that you've decided to take the ball and run with it. But really, there's no judgment on this. You can either decide to do it now or later. It doesn't really matter. But at some point, we are all going to return to God. We can all agree that God exists, and at some point, we're going to leave our bodies. We're going to return to God, right? Eventually, at some points, we're going to hear the voice. I mean, there's no denying it.
Try to hear it before we return.
It would be kind of nice to know, well, what am I supposed to be doing? What's my purpose here? What am I to do? And you can do that if you can get to the point where you're hearing the voice directly, the Holy Spirit. So, thank you for coming tonight. We got a small group, but I'm so glad that each and every one of you are here. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you for explaining.
Yeah, I hope that was a good explanation and you were able to understand.
I had to learn to listen here. This
You had to
is my
listen?
intuition, yes.
Right. Yeah.
It took me 50 years, but I learned.
Right. Anybody else have any questions or? No?
Oh, you answered it.
Okay, good. All right. Well, let's watch the movie.